It's the beginning of the end of the German automotive industry. Now, will the German automotive industry be completely killed off? No, but most of it will. 120,000 German workers from Volkswagen plants in Germany have walked off the job. They've gone on strike. And what does this mean? What does this mean for the Volkswagen Group? What does this mean for Germany? Well, the German ministers know what this means. They are panicking. They are thinking to themselves, what the hell are we going to do? Now, keep in mind that German car manufacturers have basically begged the European Union not to tax Chinese vehicles because they know that their sales of their vehicles in China are more important than their sales in Europe. And yet, all of that fell on deaf ears. Herbert Diess, the former CEO of the Volkswagen Group, he said the company had to make changes, right? The company had to reduce costs drastically. It had to make more electric cars. It had to streamline its production processes. It needed to use Tesla-like gigacasting and structural battery packs. And guess what? He was fired. Now the business is in chaos. Chaos that I think people don't really fully understand. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Germany, the economy depends on the automotive industry. For every direct job in the automotive industry, for example, for every one person Tesla employs, an additional 10 people are employed throughout Germany. That's the average number worldwide for the automotive industry. But Germany's automotive industry and therefore its economy are in crisis. Make no mistake about it. Workers at 9 Volkswagen plants, 9 factories, and also component plants across Germany, 120,000 of them started strikes on Monday, bringing assembly lines to a halt as labor and management clash over the future of the carmaker's German operations. What does this do? Does this make vehicles cheaper to manufacture, or does it make them more expensive? Volkswagen as a group, they're saying, we have no choice. You have to take a 10% pay cut, otherwise potentially half of you will lose your jobs. The unions are saying, well, no, you need to increase salaries by 10%. So what's going to happen? Well, it looks like a stalemate. Thousands gathered at the Volkswagen headquarters in Wolfsburg. Demonstrations also took place at the Hanover plant, which employs around 14,000 people alone, and also at other component and auto plants, including Emden, Salzgitter, and Brunswick. Now, this is all across Germany. It's all over the media. And I don't believe that they understand what they're doing to themselves. Similar things happened here in Australia. Similar things have happened to automotive industries in different countries around the world. And in those countries, there is no longer an automotive industry. And Volkswagen's main plant in Wolfsburg alone. A strike means thousands of cars, including the iconic Golf, cannot be built. The strikes, which could escalate into days-long stoppages, potentially unlimited, if a deal is not struck in the next round of wage negotiations, will reduce Volkswagen's output when the car maker is already facing declining deliveries and plunging profit. And when I say plunging profit, I mean profits dropped 42%. If you include inflation, profits were the lowest that they've been in decades. Profits dropped 42% in the last 3 months. Volkswagen Group themselves, their CFO, says the company is sick. That's his words. The company is sick. They said the roof is on fire. So now the union thinks, well, let's just burn the whole thing to the ground. That's essentially what's happening. I understand if you're an employee, you want to keep your job, but you can't save everyone. It's impossible. The company is sick. You can't just revive this sick patient. You've got to cut away the bad stuff. There's no choice here. How long and how intensive this confrontation needs to be is Volkswagen's responsibility at the negotiating table, said Thorsten Groger, who leads negotiations on behalf of IG Metall. IG Metall are the same union that have attacked Tesla mercilessly and relentlessly for more than a year now. They haven't succeeded, but that has happened. And I don't believe IG Metall are going to capitulate. These guys, they are probably even more hardcore than the UAW in North America. Daniela Cavallo, head of Volkswagen's Works Council, reiterated that Volkswagen's biggest shareholders, which apart from Lower Saxony include a holding firm controlled by Porsche and the Piech families, may also have to make sacrifices with regard to the annual dividend. The union last week proposed measures it said would save 1.5 billion euros. These included foregoing bonuses for 2025 and 2026, which Europe's biggest car maker dismissed. Volkswagen has demanded a 10% wage cut, saying it needs to cut costs and boost profit to defend market share as European car makers struggle with weak demand, high production costs, competition from Chinese rivals, and a slower than expected electric vehicle transition. Now, make no mistake, this so-called slower than expected electric vehicle transition is intentional from the Volkswagen Group. That is a lie. They are constantly lying about this, claiming that this slower than anticipated EV sales thing is real when it's not. EV sales worldwide have actually grown by 30% this year. It's just the Volkswagen Group's EV sales have not grown. Intentionally, they don't want them to. They make a massive loss. Look at their profits, right? Q3 profits down, plunged 42%. They make a huge loss on every electric car they sell. They don't want the electric revolution to continue because they aren't a part of it. Look at the Chinese car sales, look at the Chinese market. Is the Volkswagen Group a significant part of the explosion in EV sales in China? No, they're not. The company has threatened to close plants in Germany for the first time in its 87-year history. Management wants to drive the nail in even further, said Lucia Helm, a worker at Volkswagen's Hanover plant, taking part in Monday's strike. It's a twisted world. In football, trainers quit if they're not winning the game. At Volkswagen, it's the other way around. Players are being punished. You can imagine this is the viewpoint of probably many, many staff at the Volkswagen Group. And while I understand the honesty behind that, it doesn't mean that's got to be useful. It doesn't. This company is really at the point, it's not that far off being Nissan. An agreement not to stage walkouts ended on Saturday, enabling workers to strike from Sunday, basically indefinitely. The labour union called on employees of the plants housed under subsidiary Volkswagen, which includes Volkswagen's EV-only plant in Zwickau, to strike on Monday and Tuesday. And up to that point in time, who knows what's going to happen. Here's when we really look at this. Globally, electric car sales have increased, right? The Chinese are manufacturing EVs at an incredible price with amazing technology. You cannot compare any Volkswagen EV to the best EVs in China. They are nowhere near comparable in terms of their technology, the charging speed, battery energy density, range. The actual car that you get for your money in China is so much better. The only place where the Volkswagen Group are safe right now is Europe. But for how long? Numerous Chinese automakers are planning an assault on Europe. They are building factories in Europe or around Europe in order to circumvent these EV tariffs, these China vehicle tariffs. It's only a matter of time.